Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer Ahmadu-Oyegoke. In this video, we are going to be talking about the canonization of the Bible. Canonization simply refers to the term by which the books of the Bible were regarded as being divinely inspired by God and being authoritative scripture. We must first of all understand that the Old Testament is divided into three parts. The first part is known as the Torah, also called the Pentateuch. This part comprises of the first 5 books of the Bible, which is accredited to Moses: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And the second part of the Old Testament is known as the Nevi'im, which is also called the prophets. This comprises of the books of the major prophets like Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and some other books like Judges, Joshua, and the likes. Then the third part of the Old Testament is known as the Ketuvim, which is also called the writings. This comprises of books like Job, Daniel, Psalms, and the likes. The first part of the Old Testament, which is the Torah, was considered sacred and authoritative around 400 BC. The second part of the Old Testament, which is the Nevi'im, was considered sacred and authoritative around 200 BC. The third part of the Old Testament, which is the Ketuvim, was last to be recognized, with the finalization occurring around 100 AD after the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 AD. So in the year 90 AD, the Council of Jamnia, also known as the Council of Yavne, although not a formal council, it was just a group of rabbis who came together to debate and to discuss the books of the Bible. So during this council, the canon of the Hebrew Bible was largely settled, excluding the Deuterocanonical book, which we have in the Roman Catholic Bible and in the Greek Bible. So the Greek Bible, which is also known as the Septuagint, was translated by some Jewish scholars. This Bible contained the book of Tobit, Wisdom, Sirach, 1st and 2nd Maccabees, and the book of Judith, which are known as the Deuterocanonical books. So we move over to the canonization of the New Testament. It was quite an interesting period during the early Christian days because many people, many teachers started coming up with different books, and they always named this book after one of the apostles or people who they felt were close to the apostles. We had the Gospel of Thomas. We have all kinds of books. So there was a lot of contradiction in the early Christian days because most of these books were contradicting the Old Testament, and they were contradicting the doctrine of our Christian belief. So the church fathers decided to come up and then canonize the Old Testament. And there was criteria that were considered before canonizing the New Testament books that we have today, which is 27 books. The first criteria that was considered was apostolic origin. Before a book will be recognized, it will have to either be written by any of the apostles of Jesus or people who had close proximity with these apostles of Jesus. The second criteria is known as the orthodox content. This simply means that any book that must be accepted into the New Testament must be consistent with the teachings of the Christian doctrine. The third criteria is widespread usage. The book must be used in majority of Christian gatherings and in Christian community. The fourth criteria is liturgical usage. So any book that will be accepted must be regularly used in worship and in teaching, dating back from the days of the apostles down up until the time of the canonization. After so many debates and arguments on which book should be canonized as the New Testament, the Council of Hippo in AD 393 and the Council of Carthage in AD 397 finally affirmed what we have today as the New Testament, which comprises of the 27 books of the New Testament. This is the summary of the canonization of the Bible, including the Old and the New Testament. In our subsequent video, we'll be looking at the difference between the Roman Catholic Bible, the Protestant Bible, and the Eastern Orthodox Bible. Kindly stay tuned until we meet again. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.